Recorded live in the studios of Brewer Street Mafia. This is a Red Dog Fred production.
And now, your number one rated show, The Mike Weatherford Show. Here's your host, Mike Weatherford.
That kind of depth, that amount of time, it's got to be insanity. Hey, folks, welcome to the Mike Weatherford Show. Guys, that video right there is something. I'm sitting here with someone that we might not know lives in Paris, Tennessee. He is a Force Master Chief, Cash Caldwell. Welcome to the show, Cash.
Thanks, Mike. It's good to be here.
That video was something. That just makes cold chills. I could see you over there. That was getting you.
That's touching. I tell you, when you spend your life doing something like that, and then you get to see all those mission segments, the boats out there doing the work.
Oh, man. Ricky, welcome to the show, my friend.
Mike, it's always a pleasure, my friend.
How you doing, brother?
I tell you, this show tonight, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, viewers,
it's
don't miss. Don't even go to the refrigerator to get anything.
Man.
You need to sit in your seat tonight. You're going to see something tonight.
That's crazy, man. Did that video we showed there? That tells you, there at the end, what got me was the world's most feared force is the United States submarine.
It is.
Mr. Caldwell, did I call you Master Chief, Force, or Cash? What do I respectfully call you tonight?
Just call me Cash.
Them days, Force is off, is gone, right?
Yeah, that's off the table.
What in the world is a chief, a Force Master Chief? The Force got to be for the whole force of the Marines. For the submarines.
Yeah. In my case, it was really just the Pacific submarine force. So everything encompassing all our submarine activities from California all the way over to the Middle East. So,
Really? 30 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time, man. You've seen a lot in them 30 years in the ocean, Oh, well, I don't know what you've seen inside of a submarine, but you've been around the world, would you say?
Yeah, a couple times. Several deployments, Mediterranean deployments, two Arctic deployments, Far East deployments. So, done all the major submarine missions for attack submarines.
Right.
So, yeah.
So there was different class of submarines they was just showing there. Tell me what the difference in the submarine, because I want to find out what life is on a submarine, but I want to know what all these, because that's one part of the military. They said silent service, secret service. Nobody knows anything about them. Well, tell me what the classes mean.
Okay, well, they're just different builds and designs that the United States has done through the years. Right. Started in the 50s and 60s. Obviously, the important thing was the threat, the nuclear threat. So building those submarines that could carry the missiles, that was kind of important. They actually, did the Regulus submarines, which was a post-World War II diesel boat, but backfitted to actually carry a very short-range nuclear capability that was somewhat neutralizing. But they learned early on that was an important mission set that a submarine could do and survive. And then the attack submarines, going back to the Sturgeon class, and then later the Los Angeles class.
What does attack mean? Attack boats? And
Attack submarines there's two classes. There's the ballistic missile submarines, which are basically a deterrent to nuclear war, and that's their mission, is to go out there and basically be on patrol, and if need be, to fire their missiles.
Nuclear missiles.
That would be bad for the world if they ever did that.
Yeah.
So, and then the other class is the attack submarines, which basically go out and are hunter. They call them the hunter killers.
Yeah.
And they go out and they're looking for the bad guys.
Right. Somebody, Sherry Dunn, said thank you for your service. Her husband served on a submarine.
Oh boy, I wonder if I knew him.
Well, it's a big force. So have you been on a nuclear sub where they have nuclear weapons?
I've been on submarines that are capable of carrying nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and
We don't talk about that.
we're not going to verify or confirm.
Yeah.
Can neither confirm nor deny that.
Let me talk to my audience just a minute. Gash told me, he said, Mike, there's some things I can't answer. He said it's just secret stuff that, he being a force master chief is a big rank. I mean, he's the big dog, and there's a lot of secrets he can't share. So if he says I can't share it, please understand it's for our national safety, for our national security. I think did I do that correctly?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's just there's no need to talk about them. Nobody has really a need to know all that stuff. So.
Well, I like to know.
and I signed paper at the end of my career that said I would not discuss those things.
There you go.
There you go.
So you went into Marine Corps. I mean, why I keep saying Marine because let me get my grandson. Yeah, my grandson is a Marine. But we got a photo. Put up here the first photo.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Who is that guy?
Wonder where that come from, Cash. That is you in your basic training. Did you have any idea you was going to be in a submarine when you was in basic training in 1984 in the Navy?
Well, before I joined the Navy, they ask you if you want to volunteer for submarines because it's an all-volunteer gig. I mean, they don't force anybody to go in. And then after you volunteer, then you get screened everywhere you go. You're getting screened for submarine duty. So.
Right. Is it mentally the problem? It kind of made you crazy there.
Yeah, you have to be crazy to want to do it.
Sure you do.
So
that's my question.
they make sure you're crazy enough.
Yeah.
Why? I mean, my son served in the military. Your son, your grandson's in the military. To think about going on the water, and we'll get into a lot of this tonight. Why? You 1984.
Yeah. That's Cold War was going on.
Cold War, yeah.
What was your driving source to make you want to do it?
That's a good question, Ricky.
What's your driving source? I get it.
Well, I mean, I wanted to do something challenging and hard, really. I mean, I was kind of a smart aleck kind of kid.
Well,
I
get
just
that.
wanted to be, I asked the recruiter, I said, what's the hardest thing you got to do? And short of, being a Navy SEAL, which I would never be able to do because of, my vision and stuff. Right. I was like, okay, well, let's volunteer. I volunteered for submarine duty and just see how far I could go with that. So
when you went through your basic training, and that was in 1984. How long was it before they started screening you to be a submarine?
Right away. I mean,
Immediately.
Yeah, I mean, during boot camp, which was 8 weeks, you actually got to go talk to a shrink. And then, I mean, really.
Seriously.
Yeah, and it was like during the evening, I still remember it vividly, one at a time. I mean, you got called into a room in the evening time to go sit down and talk to a person. He basically asked you.
What was they asking you? That ain't top secret, is it?
No, not really. It was
But
just
why?
about relationships.
Yeah, why?
I mean, really,
yeah.
I remember one question. It's like, and this is no kidding. Why do you hate your father? I was like, well, that's ludicrous. I don't hate my father. That's crazy. So, and the guys, a few more things, and then he basically signed off and said, "You're good to go."
Really?
So, yeah.
So I'm leading up to, then you went to more training. After
Yeah.
that, you just don't go 8 weeks of basic training and they put you in a submarine. Then you got to go to submarine training, correct?
Well, you get some rate-specific training. I was a mechanic.
Right.
You can appreciate that. I was a wrench turning guy.
Yeah.
I wanted to turn wrenches and fix stuff, and so you go to the A school to do that, and that was about 12 weeks, and then for just basic stuff.
Yeah.
And then you went to a submarine-specific training. Then you went to the submarine school.
Yeah.
And you got more specific submarine training to start actually kind of qualifying in submarines. In one of the pictures, you'll see the submarine dolphins. That is something every submarine is required to get. They don't just hand you those. You have to qualify in submarines to wear the submarine dolphins.
Is that it right there?
No, well, the captain there, you can see his dolphins.
Right.
And in the next picture, I think.
Yeah, go on next picture.
Or not that one. There's another
We
one.
got another right there.
There you can see my dolphins up there over the medals.
Now, what are you getting here? You're getting pinned as Pacific Submarine Force Master Chief
Yep.
by Admiral Frank Caldwell in 19. I don't think people understand what a Force Master Chief is. A pretty high ranking.
Well, you work for the commander, and the commander is actually the admiral.
Gotcha.
Okay, and I'm his enlisted liaison to the submarine force. Okay. And you got to figure out the submarine force is actually about 90% enlisted.
Oh, okay.
Right, so I mean it's mainly enlisted guys, and it's a small group of officers, but still, it's been said that Master Chiefs run the Navy, and which is kind of true in a lot of ways because we take care of all the little nitnoid things that officers don't need to trouble themselves with. As far as I'm concerned, on a submarine, an officer's there to stand watch.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's there to be officer that can train in warfare and that sort of thing. And the enlisted, the chiefs, are there to run the ship.
Right.
And on your best performing ships, that's exactly the way it is. But the orders and all that are given by the officers, and he is the commander, the admiral.
Gotcha. But yeah, I understand. You know, when it comes down to the to the nut cutting.
Yeah, let's face it. I was a humble guy. I was an enlisted man in the U.S. Navy, and doggone proud to be an enlisted man in the U.S. Navy.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for your service. But
thank you.
But
Make
you
that
just
clear.
don't get. There's not everybody handed the Master Chief title.
No.
So what got you up to Master Chief?
Well, you have to be first. You got to make chief, and you go up through it. I reported to my first submarine as an E4. And then I had to make E5, and then I had to make E6, and then E7.
It ain't just time. It's got
No, you've got to take exams, and
Yeah.
it's competitive. Everything's competitive, so you're competing against other guys, and there are limits. It's like even though you might be fully qualified for the next pay grade, there's quotas. There's only so many in the force, the entire force, that are going to get advanced. So every time there's an advancement of people, it's the very top notch people. So there were many years that I got passed over,
Right.
and then eventually would get selected. But I was 12 years in the Navy before I was selected as a chief.
Right.
And then chief was the thing that I always really wanted to do more than anything else, was to be the chief of auxiliary division on a nuclear powered submarine. That was the thing I wanted to do. And everything else that happened after that just happened. As you know, I mean, it just was going to happen.
Yeah, just gravy.
But my thing was to be the chief. That was the goal from being a young sailor and having my own division. Now, a division's about 16 guys, and you're responsible for all the, auxiliary equipment on the submarine, which is basically all the stuff that makes the boat survivable.
Right.
So that was the goal. And then after that, then you move into trying to be a chief of the boat. And that's another qualification that you have to reach, and then getting selected into that program.
Right.
And then after you're a chief of the boat, then selecting into a command master chief program. And then being a command master chief, there were many candidates to be the force master chief, so that was competitive too. The admiral interviewed everybody, and and saw resumes and all that, and then he made his selection.
Did your time of service, what you had done, and I'm sure you went on some secret missions.
Oh, well, I mean, submarines do.
That's all it is secret service.
It's you're underwater.
Yeah.
And it's secret.
Submarines do stuff, and you don't talk about it.
No,
and they say
you're
they have
right.
a saying in the Navy: "Loose lips
Sink
sink
ships."
ships."
I said
They
that,
still use that?
I said
All
that
right.
many days.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
now
I said
So
it
we
worked.
don't.
we got ahead of myself here now.
Yeah, we
okay. All right. All of a sudden, you go to the Navy and you say, "I want to be a badass. What's the hardest job?" And they look at you and they say, "Mr. Caldwell, it is being a submariner." Is that what y'all call yourselves, submariners?
Submariners, yeah.
All right. And you say, "That's what I want."
Yeah.
You get on there, you do all your tests, and you finally get to a submarine. What is the first boat you're on? Submarine you're on?
Well, the first one was in Charleston, South Carolina. It was, and I reported.
Yeah.
I still remember I went down at nighttime. I was in my dress blues. I had my sea bag. It was an interesting evening when I reported on board. There was the crew was not there. I mean, it was the duty section on the boat, but it was one of those foggy nights. Pier side, a wharf. It was like something out of some movie.
Alfred Hitchcock movie.
Yeah, and walking down there,
Yeah.
and reporting on board in your dress blues and just as sharp and as pressed as you could be, trying to make a good first impression. Anyway, did all that, and then about a month into being on Sunfish.
So you walk on the boat.
You walk onto the
What
boat.
do you?
It's pier side. It's pier side, and it's import for a certain amount of time.
Does it
for
got a
few
name?
weeks.
Does that a name on?
The USS Sunfish was
USA
the
Sunfish.
was the very first submarine.
How
that
big
I
a ship?
reported.
How big a
It was a
submarine?
Sturgeon class submarine, so it's 297 feet long, 30 foot draft,
297. How wide?
30 about 30 feet wide,
30 feet.
30
How many-
feet deep. So it's a
A circle.
cylindrical. Yeah.
So you get on a boat with how many other people?
I mean, when we go to sea, it's about 150, 160 people.
On something? I mean, y'all help me. That's not many square foot for that kind of people.
Well, I mean, let's face it. The thing is 3 stories submerged.
Yeah, but it's not big.
So that's pretty big. So
Can you stand up?
yes, yes you
Oh
can.
yeah,
You stand up and you can move around, and you can actually, from time to time, find yourself a little space and just kind of hang out by yourself too. So,
Really?
Yeah, it's not elbow to elbow. It's not that tight.
Really? I was assuming
They're bigger than you think they are.
but that don't sound big. 33 foot, 200. How long?
97 feet. It's as long as a football field.
Yeah, but that ain't. But you got 137 people on it. So you get on your first boat.
Yeah, and and one of the first things you do as a junior guy, you report into your division, and they'll put you to work doing kind of menial stuff, and everybody's just kind of feeling you out, seeing what kind of guy you are, and then they'll start assigning you, maintenance and things like that to do.
Hasn't left dock yet.
No, you're just in there with the division, and if there's some crap job they can give the junior guy to do, that's what you
got
get
that
to
one.
do.
Yeah. You got tote slop buckets, I'm sure.
Well, I mean, and then everybody mess cooks, and mess cook is a mess attendant, which is you can think of a mess, where it's the galley.
Yeah.
Everybody works in the galley, and everybody helps prepare the food and serve the food, and all that stuff, and everybody does 90 days. And if you ask anybody that's been in the Navy, how long did you mess cook for, and he can't give you a number, he never mess cooked.
Really?
He's lying to you because
Okay.
because they're so miserable. They're so miserable.
You don't forget that.
You remember, like I for one did 97 days before I pulled
Really?
out.
What's
I
so
knew
miserable
exactly.
about cooking?
Well, it's hard.
97 days.
I tell you what, I have a respect for those cats. Don't get it wrong. That is hard work.
Yeah,
That's
100.
one of the hardest working divisions on the ship are the MSs.
Right.
We call them MS. They're mess management specialists. Now they're CSs, which is called culinary specialists.
Yeah, everything's got fancy. But you get on your boat.
Yeah.
And you do all that in training, and then they holler, "Anchors up, we're heading out." Do you remember that precisely when you first went on a cruise in that first absolute submarine?
I do. It was a weekly op. We were doing the ship was in its schedule was getting ready to do one of the most critical examinations that they have to do every couple of years, and that is your reactor safeguards exam,
What is a reactor?
the nuclear reactor.
So this boat is powered
Nuclear.
by nuclear.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that not dangerous?
Well, we hope it's not dangerous.
I mean, seriously, I don't know nothing about it.
100% safety record, naval nuclear power, 100% safety record.
Really?
So-
Where's a nuclear at? Is there a reactor?
Midships. It's pretty much a midships.
And all it does
a little
is-
bit aft.
So it heats water.
It's a big tea kettle. Yeah.
Okay, and done by nuclear reactor. Y'all don't fool with them rods and stuff. And who does all? How
We
long-
have reactor operators that do that. Enlisted people
So-
operate the reactor.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So
And they're smart. Don't
hell,
get me
I
wrong.
hope the hell they are.
They are some of the most.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what, that nuclear power training is
Yeah.
no joke, and those guys get through it,
Yeah.
and they go to prototypes, and they run drills, and they understand the functioning and the operation, and they know how to do procedures, and they are competent. And guess what? Admiral Rickover would have had it no other way, and all those guys were just one of the most highly trained and competent groups of people you ever be around.
But you're in a nuclear submarine. It's powered by nuclear. And that's, to me, that sounds like that's dangerous as hell. And then it's heating water, and water makes steam. Steam, what runs the propeller? Am I getting close?
That's exactly right.
Okay.
It's a primary loop and a secondary loop, so you don't have radioactive water powering the propeller. It's no radioactive fluid leaves the reactor compartment.
Well, how big is that
Ideally.
reactor room where all that?
Well, it's 3 stories too, but it's insulated from the rest of the crew.
God,
There's
I
a
would-
tunnel that you pass through to go from the forward end of the ship to the aft end of
So
the
they
ship.
went away from diesel engines, and now they went to.
Basically, a nuclear submarine was a steam plant destroyer, steam plant that was, instead of using boilers, they used a reactor to heat the water.
How long is that reactor good for before you got to come into the base and have it all tore down and redone? I mean, it's
Years.
Really?
Now they're building lifetime of the ship, so 30-plus year reactors.
don't have to do anything for
Don't
30
have to do
years.
anything, just run it.
So have you ever been on a ship when they had a reactor problem? With the hot boys, we got to watch out. This thing's acting up. It's going to blow up or anything.
No, nothing that bad, because there's such redundancy in the design of the thing that there are ways to isolate problems. So if you were to have a leak, or you have this or a thing like that, there are ways to isolate and not compromise the operation, because you've got a whole other half of the plant that can run.
Right. Okay, so go ahead. I'm sorry I interrupted you. I told you it's going to be a conversation. It's
That's
not
okay.
boring
I
to
don't
you.
mind. No,
It's
question and action.
very interesting to me. I mean, I hope my viewers enjoyed it.
Yeah,
So
but we're getting.
Yeah,
you were talking about the first submarine, and I guess I kind of got us off track.
no, that's what I want.
We're going to get
But,
off track.
Hell, I've never been on tracks.
No,
Yeah,
we're
my
gonna-
track
we're gonna-
tore up years
Hey,
ago,
that
Cash.
train's going to jump the track
Oh,
sometime.
yeah.
So anyway, there's a whole procedure about diving the submarine, and even though you can go through trainers, and they have training simulators where you dive and you practice driving the ship, there's nothing like the real thing. I think there was a song, "Nothing Like the Real Thing."
Yeah.
Yeah, ain't
Baby.
nothing like the real thing.
Hey, baby.
Anyway, for sure. And I can remember the first time that I got underway out of Charleston, and there's a big surface transit because of the 100-fathom curve, and you got to get out there.
About the what? 105?
100-fathom curve. You have to be past 100 fathoms to dive.
What the hell's a phallum?
A fathom,
Fathom.
100 feet. 6 feet?
I don't have a clue. That's why I'm
Yeah.
asking.
Anyway, it's 6 feet, and you want to get you
Yeah,
got to be in
knots.
deep water.
You know,
typically.
I understand.
You wanna be in
like,
deep water.
Speed is in knots, and in fathoms is feet.
Depth.
Depth. Is that
Yeah.
why the hell they confuse? One they say we're running 10 mile an hour with 100 foot of water. What
You
the
could
hell?
you could say feet, or you could say fathoms.
Okay, see,
But as long as you're doing your, what
So
your
we
soundings
threw
are in.
Mike on 6 foot of water. What
Yeah,
you
yeah,
say.
yeah.
He's like, yeah.
Yeah,
Mark Twain.
yeah, I got you.
Yeah, get out
I'm
of
with you,
6
brother.
yeah, throw him under. I get it.
Regardless, so you get out there and you're getting ready to dive, and they rig the ship for dive, which is everybody double checks that all the major openings to the ocean.
Major. There's minor openings.
Yeah, they're major and minor openings.
Oh hell, go ahead. This is getting. Go
But
ahead.
it's called rig for dive, and the ship is rigged for dive, and it's verified, and it's an enlisted person positions everything and verifies it, and then an officer comes and checks everything behind him. So everything, if you break rig for dive like you do in evolution, where you have to open a sea valve that's normally shut, that's called breaking rig for dive. Then you have to re-rig it for dive after the evolution is complete. So it's called breaking rig for dive, and then rig for dive and verified by, and that's a report made to
Can I
control.
butt in just a second?
Yeah.
You said there's major and minor. If I'm in a submarine, every damn thing is going to be major to me.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as minors. Rick.
Well,
You're right, because
there are big holes and little holes.
They're all holes. Shut
because-
every damn one of them.
because
Jack.
if you're underwater,
Yeah, I
it's,
want
it's
all
all
of them
major.
shut. I want them all shut, Cash.
want-
If I'm
yeah,
on
I
ever
want-
on
I-
a submarine,
first-
and I'm going
Well,
to say,
you've got to
Cash,
have seawater to go to your condensers,
but
ultimately.
I understand that, but I don't want it coming in the boat with me.
Well-
No, that's called the people tank, and there's separations. There's ways to keep,
Yeah, we're going to get
water
into
out
what
of
it's
the
like
people
living under. I'm just getting everybody to understand what it's like. Now, you get ready to dive. You dive the first time you dive.
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting because the ship's rigged for dive, and then all of a sudden, so you're sitting on the surface, and you're just kind of bobbing a little bit, but it's kind of quiet.
yeah.
It's quiet because the nuclear reactor doesn't make any noise, so it's kind of quiet. Everybody's kind of focused on the evolution coming. The ship's been in port for a while, hasn't dove, for a while, so people have to check everything, to go around, flashlights, make sure. But anyway, the first thing you hear is over the 1MC, the chief of the watch in control says, dive, dive. Well, on my first submarine, the guy didn't have very good diction. And what it sounded like to me was, die, die. And then the klaxon sounds, the ooga, ooga. And he says it again, die, die. So that's what I heard. And then they open the vents, and then the submarine starts working its way down, and it's all kind of creepy. And I was just like, oh,
Holy crap.
what is going on here? But it was, it was the first one, and I got through it. And then next thing you know, it's peaceful, and then you're just going to work every day.
Underneath the water.
Mm-hmm.
That's my question. Your first time diving, and I'm getting like Mike. The first drop of sweat that ran off my forehead, I
God.
thought the thing would be leaking because I'd be sweating.
Son,
You know what I'm saying?
My nerves. I would have never made it through the test. Well, Ash, if you're crazy, hell, everybody knows I'm crazy. Hey, we
Yeah.
got to introduce your. Hey, do me a second right here. Show us our special guest right
Here he
there.
is. Here he is.
Put the camera over here on him and tell us who we got here with us.
All
Right,
right, where is he at?
right there.
Oh, there he is.
There he is. Who we got here?
That's Dell.
That's Dale. He is a special guest tonight. He is a Labrador.
He's lab.
Lab.
Old black lab.
Old black lab.
Loves
That's
Dell.
Cash's buddy.
That is
And he come in with him, and
he
he's a
is.
cool
Look at that
dog.
face.
He said, I got to go pay, Daddy.
That is one handsome dog.
Oh, he is a good looking dog. But anyway, you dive, you
There
get
you
into it. We got to take a commercial break. But when we
Oh,
get
okay.
back from commercial break, we're getting about that time. We're going to find out what life is. What I was doing was setting up Cash. We know how he started. We showed pictures of him when he started his service. We showed him going on. He talked about his first dive. Now, when we get back, we're going to find out what in the hell it's like being under the ocean, however fathoms they go. Old country boy like me call it feet. And I want every valve shut, every damn one of them. I
don't even
want
sweat.
shut. I don't care. I want all of them shut. I don't. There's no majors and minors. They're all shut. All of them. We're gonna find out. I'm gonna find out about air and water systems on the sub. I'm gonna find out about your eating. Where the hell they go to the bathroom? I mean, and there's a
sleep.
story. Yeah, I mean, I would.
sleep for 8 hours.
I do sleep, yeah, and pee, and I know where you pee at. Mine being my britchy when that guy hollered, dive, dive, dive. That's all over, dude. I'm going to pee on myself. And he's going to tell you a story about a string that they run across this submarine, and they get it real tight, like a trot line string or clothesline string. I'll let him tell you about that. But in the meantime, Pepsi Mid-America has done it again. My old buddy Ricky Price has done it again. He has give us, this is a huge, how many ounces is that, Ricky? A bunch.
It's dive. It's a
Dive,
phallum.
dive,
It's a
dive.
phallum. It's
That's right.
dive.
That's a phallum. Phallum, right? Would you call that Cash a
That's a
phallum?
phallum. It's a
I've got
phallum
at least
cut.
a phallum.
That's at least a phallum right there. Giveaway tonight. It's got its straw, and it says, I'm going to look at there, Pepsi Mid-America all over. Hey, Ricky can tell you I'm not lying. I damn near fought him not to give this away.
I'm going to find him one.
I said, Ricky, I don't want to give that away. That is so cool. And he said, oh, I'll find you another one, give it to your audience. So here I am. All I want you to be, we're going to put the phone number up. Get the phone number ready back here in the back. There it is right there. Third caller, and you're going to get you this gigantic, it's huge. Fallon Pepsi Mid-American cup. It's pretty cool. Hey, we'll be right back.
Charter Senior Living, located at 350 Volunteer Drive, is a premier community for seniors interested in pursuing life, energy, and purpose. We have restaurant-style dining, life enrichment programs, social activities, local scheduled transportation, and a beauty salon. We show respect to our veterans with a wall of honor. Our mission at Charter Senior Living is to enhance the human spirit. For more information about Charter Senior Living, call us at 731-644-9680.
Is your tank on empty? Come to 54 Fuel Mart, located at 1213 A Westwood Street, for the best prices on gas. What about your other tank? You know, the one that is growling? 54 Fuel Mart has you covered for that as well. Check out our fried chicken, wings, pizza, and many other items to satisfy your hunger. On Tuesdays and Fridays, you really need to check out the fried fish. We also have a selection of freeze-dried candies, along with an entire aisle of candy bars and other sweets. Is it raining, or do you just not want to get out of the car? We have a drive-up window for your convenience. We also have dyed diesel for use in your tractors and other farm equipment. We have parking for big rigs, and our business hours are 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. Feeling lucky? Well, do you? We have scratch-offs, and you can try your hand and the TN lottery while you're here. 54 Fuel Mart, located at the Westwood Y, Paris.
Chadcox, PLLC provides representation in the areas of criminal law, family law, personal injury, wills and probate law. Chadcox serves Paris and the surrounding area. He does not believe in a one-size-fits-all approach to representing his clients. He reviews every detail of your case to ensure that you receive an assessment that is specific to the unique circumstances in your case. Chadcox is located at 104 North Brewer Street, Paris, Tennessee. Contact us at 731-642-4446.
Is this a normal sight around your house in the winter? Then when the hot summer sun comes around, is this something you see quite regularly too? If so, AccuAir is your answer. AccuAir serves all surrounding counties with top-notch HVAC techs to get you in the comfort that you deserve. Call Nathan or one of the highly skilled techs from AccuAir. AccuAir also offers BPU-approved financing for all your HVAC replacements. AccuAir is your #1 choice for all your heating and cooling.
The Downtown Event Center is available for parties, meetings, or family get-togethers. The center comes with spacious seating and an area that will help make serving food easier. If you are having a birthday party, this is definitely the place for you. The Downtown Event Center is located at 107 South Brewer Street. Contact Jessica at 731-642-4992 to make your reservation.
Yeah, I heard from an old bluebird down in Kentucky, you don't love me no more.
Hey, don't forget, folks, Junior Staggs and Friend Live. We flipped out. There we come back. I think our hanger broke off. I seen it flop down. Junior Staggs and Friends Live is coming back with a special guest, Kaylin Wilson. Now listen, folks, Junior is a good friend of mine. You know, he's always on here helping us out. He's going to have this show at the Parlor, downtown Puryear, coming up Friday, April the 18th at 7 p.m. with special guest Kaylin Wilson. You don't want to miss. This guy's up and coming. You'll get to see him before he makes it big time. You need to tune in, watch him. He's going to be live at the parlor. The tickets will be available real soon. We're going to give you where you can go get your tickets. But don't forget, go to juniorstags.com. The parlor, downtown Puryear, Friday, April 18th, 7 p.m. I'll give you more information as we get it, but I want to get it out here live and let you know that Junior Stags and Friends is coming back. Be watching for it. And we got next week's show, earthquakes. I got Brian Blake. I think I'm going to get him to come here from Memphis. I think he's pretty well sure he's going to drive in. I may have to Zoom him, but he's the executive director of Central USA Earthquake. I can't say that word. Y'all help me. Consortium? What the hell is that word?
Start me to line about it.
I don't know what he said. But anyway, he's a big shot when it comes to earthquake. He's going to come in, and I'm going to ask him the question, are we due a big earthquake around here? And does these pivot wells these farmers use, sucking all that water out of the ground, is that adding to the risk? New Madrid Fault, that's right in our backyard. Is it another hidden danger? What communities are in the strip? What's happening with these earthquakes? They're happening every day. They always happen every day. They've been doing it since there's been an earth. And you know what? The Real Foot Lake was made by an earthquake. We're going to find out exactly what risk we're in, what knows about earthquakes. That's pretty interesting.
Oh, yeah, it's fascinating.
It is. And we're going to find out all about that. It's coming up next Tuesday right here on the Mike Weatherford Show. All right, don't forget my sister show, Good Day Paris. It's every Thursday evening at 6:30 p.m. on Facebook Live. Go find them right now. Good Day Paris, another Facebook show. You don't want to miss it. It's always got an exciting guest. Look up at them pictures. I've even been on the show. You know, they was kind of bad. They was really needing some. They was needing some bad stuff, Cash, and they got me come over. You know, they was really digging under the barrel. They done dug the bottom out of the barrel and got down there in the muck and got me come on.
Sort of.
Now they're saying I begged to come on.
Sort of like tonight.
Yeah, sort of like tonight. No, Cash, hell no. All right, guys, go right ahead. And my other brother show, I call him, is Vance. He's got a good Tennessee Informer. Went mind blank. I was laughing to myself. Constitutional Carry. You need to find that show. How state leadership claims to support the Second Amendment while blocking full-blown compliance. So go on to Tennessee Informer. Find him out. Dave Vance will be there telling you about it with special guest John Harris. It's another show you want to go watch. Don't forget him. That's Tennessee Informer. All right, folks, have we got us a winner yet with this insulated Pepsi Mid-America tumbler or Fallum with a straw? That is so cool. I think we may possibly have the winner on the line.
Was it Mike Weatherford?
Who we got?
You do.
Who have I got here?
This is Sherry Dunn.
Well, what do you think, Sherry? Is that not pretty cool? I wanted that myself. That's cool, isn't it?
I know. I love it. And I thought I'd take a chance and get it and give it to my husband, who's the veteran and the reason I'm watching this show tonight.
Oh, really? Where are you from?
Centerville, Tennessee.
All right. So your husband is a veteran. Does he happen to be a submariner by any chance?
He sure is. He's the one I commented earlier that he served on the USS Parchie.
Whoa.
Talk to her.
I know the Parchie. I know people that have served on the Parchie. I knew the.
Is your husband still around? Is he still alive?
He is. He just walked in the room about the time I won, and I hollered out when I won.
Well, you tell him that we've got the Force Master Chief, Cash Caldwell, on this show. He may have mowed Cash. I don't know.
You know, there was another one of my predecessors was the chief of the boat of the Parchie.
Really?
Mo Pollard. Yeah.
Oh, did you hear that, Sherry? Hello, Sherry.
Got to get him.
What'd she say?
She's going to get her husband.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll just.
She's going to get down in the water.
Yeah. You okay with that, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
No problem.
Pat him on here. Let him talk to the Force Master.
Here he is.
Hey, this is Bobby.
Hello, Bobby. Welcome to the Mike Weatherford Show. I'm sitting here with a submariner, Force Master Chief Cash Caldwell.
Hey there, Bobby. What did you do on the Parchie? Or can you talk about it?
Well, when I left, I had to sign that piece of paper about can't talk for 50 years. And I said, well, I'd forget what I'd done by then. I said, that's the point.
I know the paper well. That's for sure. So,
Wackendorf was commander whenever I was on there.
what was his name again?
Wackendorf.
And what was your Cobb's name? Do you remember?
Yeah, Jack Busey, I think, was his last name.
I've heard of Jack Busey. Yeah, legend. I knew Mo Pollard was a later on Cobb, one of the last Cobbs of the party.
What the hell's a Cobb?
Oh, the chief of the boat.
Oh, okay. Y'all got to forget. Hey, you got us guys that ain't submariners here. Don't forget us.
You take a corn cob.
I thought about a corn cob. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Cob, right?
Yeah. What do you think? It's pretty interesting. I thought that y'all submariners, y'all guys are a special breed. I don't want to say you're crazy, but you got to have a little crazy in you to be a submariner. That's
we're definitely crazy.
I got to see the Parchie being decommissioned up in Bremerton, Washington, up there when I was the chief of the boat of the Columbus, and actually we loaded all their leftover toilet paper that they had. We got it. It was called John Wayne toilet paper.
Yeah, rough and tough, won't take crap off nobody. There he is when you was a chief of the boat of the U.S. You was the Cobb. Look at there.
There you go.
USS Columbus. Well, I'll be damned. You was old corn cob at one time.
Yeah.
What is that SSN 762 in Port Pearl Harbor? Tell me what all that means.
That's just the whole number of the ship. SSN stands for Fast Attack Submarine.
Oh, okay. So y'all got a lot in common, ain't you, sir, Mr. Dunn?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, I appreciate your service.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.
Thank you for your service.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much.
And congratulations on winning.
Yes, thank you so much.
We'll work it out with Dana, the media girl in the back. We'll get this cup to you no matter what it takes.
We'll help ship it.
We'll get it to you. Appreciate you, girl.
I appreciate it.
All right, keep watching. We're going to get into the guts of this if I can get him to talk to me. Well, that was pretty cool. Say, Centerville, Tennessee, another submariner. Is that not? That's pretty cool. Right
That
there.
is very cool. Yeah.
That is cool. That is
Thank
cool.
you.
But anyway, there's I'm gonna ask some other questions. Was the most Tom asked, who has the most dangerous submarine excluding the nuclear missiles? I don't quite understand what that means. Who has the most dangerous submarine? I guess what's the most dangerous submarine excluding the nuclear missiles? What I guess some of the missiles are stuffing on there.
Well, I mean, let's just face it. I mean, the forerunner in the world is the United States Submarine Service.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nobody more lethal. Or
yeah.
not. I mean, they might be getting, some capabilities and all those sort of things that
They got
we
they got
don't
the
know
old
about now,
technology.
but-
That's Charlotte asked if ever dreams he's on a submarine and is your submarine still in service?
Well, the last submarine I was on is still in service, the Columbus. That was the one I was associated with. I was the chief of the boat on.
Right.
And but and the USS Pasadena, and that's when I was A gang chief. That's still in service as well. So the last two I served on, and
There you are right there when you was the A-gang chief of the USS Pasadena.
all I ever wanted to be was the A gang chief. That's right.
Man, look at that. Does that bring back memories or fond memories or what kind of memories we got?
Actually, I vaguely remember having hair. So, but yeah, that was a great time. The best. It was like the Tale of Two Cities. It was the best of times and the worst of times. So.
One more question. And somebody said Burton. I don't know who that is. Said that. I don't know if we're talking about Burton. She's going to tell me. Said that former president Burton Staggs. He's a friend of mine down in Waynesboro. He's an investigative reporter. Thanks for watching, Burton. Said that former President Jimmy Carter, before being president, saved a submarine from a nuclear reactor meltdown. He was a hero.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's well known in Navy circles about him that he was a nuke, and he actually got interviewed, as all nukes did back then. The officers were all had to pass an interview with naval reactors, who was Admiral Rickover, who was the father of the nuclear navy.
Really, man.
And he by himself is an interesting study in getting her done. Right. I want to tell you what, that guy took that challenge and just brilliantly solved all those problems.
Yeah. Let's get to the nitty gritty.
Okay.
How do y'all get your oxygen when you're in a submarine? That's been bothering me. Do you have a big old long port a rod that sticks up with a hole in it, sucking air in when you're under the water?
No.
Oh hell, Ricky, I didn't think that was right.
We do have a snorkel mast, which is technology that we actually stole from the Germans during World War II. A lot of people don't know that. The snorkel was invented by the Germans so that they could operate their diesels while submerged. But that's not how we get our oxygen underway. We actually make our oxygen. And that was one of the machines that I actually qualified to run. It uses distilled water, purified water, deionized water, along with electrolyte, operates very high current, and separates water into hydrogen and oxygen. We keep the oxygen and we just pipe the hydrogen overboard.
Really?
Yep.
So did you got scrubbers maybe to scrub the oxygen, the air, or what goes
Well,
with all the
there are
carbon
scrubbers on there, and they're actually used to get rid of the carbon dioxide,
yes, what I was gonna say,
which
yeah.
is all the stuff that you exhale.
That's right. That's right. It goes away.
Yeah, and some other things, noxious stuff. You want to get.
Yeah. You know, you got a lot of men on there eating a lot of beans. I mean, you know, you're going to have some natural gas.
I knew you was going down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
We have activated charcoal beds,
I would
too.
hope so. Yeah. So, but then, so your oxygen is kind of made. You take the water and make the air you breathe, and you kind of scrub the carbon dioxide out and kind of pump it out, or where does it go?
The carbon dioxide is compressed and piped overboard. But it's actually quite interesting how we get rid of the carbon dioxide.
Yeah.
We have a chemical called monoethanolamine, which when cold absorbs carbon dioxide, and then when it's hot, it gives it off. So it's interesting, and we just run air through this cascading apparatus that collects, basically just strips the CO2 out of the air.
Really?
So, yeah.
Okay, you got a kitchen, a mess hall.
A galley.
Galley, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you're 30-something foot wide, and you're 300 foot long. How big's the kitchen? You got 140 people on board. You got to have because you got to eat 3 times a day at least, minimum.
Well, it varies depending on the class. I mean, the Tridents obviously are a bigger submarine, so they have the biggest galley, the Trident submarines.
Yeah. Where do you carry the food? In freezer? Do you have freezers on board?
We have freezers, and we have
Hold on a minute.
chilled stores.
You got freezers.
Freezers.
Yeah, it's a living quarters. You got things.
You got to take food. That's the only thing that limits the amount of time that a submarine can stay submerged is how much food they have. That's the only limiting factor. Everything else they can make or have themselves.
But you got to have
as long
food.
as nothing breaks, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's another thing. You ever had any issues where you thought, oh, hell, this is it. We're going to sink to the bottom?
No, never thought that.
You can't.
Really?
No, because to me.
Because you don't think that.
No, it'd drive me stir crazy.
Yeah, you don't.
Tell us a story about the string that you tied.
Okay.
Okay, I want to hear this.
It's pretty simple. I mean, when you know you're going to do a deep dive, which you do after a lengthy import period, when you know you're going to take the submarine to its test depth, the guys down in the torpedo room will typically take a string and tie it from one side to the other because that's an open space.
30 foot approximately.
Yeah. And they'll tie that thing taut on the surface, and then as you do a controlled deep dive down, it just gradually sags and sags and sags until it's all the way touching the floor. And then after you complete your deep dive and you come back up, then it stretches it back out.
And that's from the submarine hull.
The pressure.
The hull's moving.
Yeah, it's compressing.
Yeah, I know that. You compress in and country boy, the damn thing's moving.
It's moving.
And how thick is them walls?
Well, I mean, they could be up to, between 1.5 inches, 2 inches, 3 inches thick, depending on where you are in the
I understand, but the damn thing's moving.
Yeah.
Does that not, in metal, I work with metal every day. I'm a mechanic. You work metal back and forth so much, it finally gets brittle and break. So that thing is moving. Far and how high is that string off the floor when they do that?
Probably about 6 feet.
And it drops all the way down.
All the way down, yeah.
So how much is that damn thing moving?
That much.
Jesus Christ.
The submarines are built out of a thing called HY or high yield steel. The older ones were HY 80. Newer ones were HY 100. Different
but it's
grades
moving.
of
I know
steel.
it's designed to do that, but just
U.S. Steel.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, thank God. Thank God. But don't that freak you out?
Well, I mean, the whole operation is just routine for us. I mean, that's the thing. You're so we're so trained, and it is our culture that is our business, and we do our business. If you're freaked out, that's no good. I mean, you got to be able to do your job no matter what the outside external. You just really don't think about too much.
How do you drive it? You don't have a window that you look out of.
Mm-hmm.
So how in the hell do you know you ain't gonna run over a mountain or how do you drive a damn submarine?
Sonar. Sonar are your eyes and your ears. So you have eyes and ears. So you listen passively to what's out there, and then there's other ways.
It's a ground mode.
There are other ways to tell what's out there.
What? You can't see it.
Can't see it, but there are other ways. You can see it visually on a display. So you know what's out there. You know what the bottom contour is doing, all those sort of things.
How deep can a submarine go?
Well, you can go pretty deep.
Well, how many feet would you
All
say?
the way to the bottom if we don't stop it. No.
Pump the brakes, Mike. Pump the brakes.
Yeah.
About, I can tell you that they can go at least 1,000 feet. So we can go, that's not classified. I can tell you 1,000 feet. And I can tell you the speed, too. We can go at least 25 knots underwater.
What is that, miles per hour?
That's about 30.
That's pretty
28 to
quick.
30.
And you're way out there in the middle of the ocean. There's nobody around. What do you do with the garbage? Y'all creating garbage because you got to cook. You've got waste. You've got paper. You've got plastic.
If it builds up too much, you can get rid of it. You can shoot it out the trash disposal unit.
Right.
And it's weighted down in cans and bags and stuff that take it all the way to the bottom. So you don't
Do y'all have a septic
pollute
tank? Or do y'all,
pollute that much.
Yeah.
And we have sanitary tanks, we call them. Sanitaries, SAN 2 typically on the old SAN 1 on the 688s class submarines. But basically you just pump. You pump it or blow it overboard.
Right.
Pressurize it and just blow it overboard.
So how many days are y'all underwater? The maximum you've been underwater at depth?
72 days. That's
In a
the
row.
most. That's the most for me. And there are guys that have done twice that.
That's a season.
I mean, there are guys that have done long. I mean, when you first deploy, there's loadouts, and they'll load you out for 120 days. That means we've got enough food to go, if we had to, 120 days, right?
Yeah.
So when you deploy, what have you, but you're walking on food. There are number 10 cans stacked in the passageways and all in the outboards and the overheads, and everywhere you can put food, there's food.
Right.
And you bring boards and you put boards over so you don't crush everything, but we're carrying food, and then we just eat our way out of it.
Yeah.
As you're
The
going
boat
along.
gets lighter as you go.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. And you have to compensate for the.
Really?
Yeah, you have to compensate for it. We have variable ballast tanks that we have to adjust trim. I mean, we actually keep track of how much food we load on so we can, that first dive, we just don't go out of sight, I mean, because,
Do you have warnings if you go into
it's called a compensation, and it's a compensation sheet, and it's a whole bunch of calculations that you do. But, typically you can be within, 3 to 5,000 pounds is a pretty good compensation.
Yeah. Have you ever had people just get out there and freak out? Am I boring you?
No, not at all.
Have you ever had people just absolutely freak out?
No. I've heard of guys doing that and kind of freaking out, but it really, at that point, they're just guys trying to get out of it. You know what I mean? We were getting ready to do a northern run.
That's Mike.
Yeah, I'd be freaked out.
One time, and we were getting ready to go under the ice.
So you been under the ice?
I've been to the North Pole twice. So, underwater, under the ice.
So you're there in the winter, basically, to our winter, or the summer in the North Pole?
Both.
Woo!
One then the other. But you could surface up there if the ice is thin enough. And from what I'm hearing, it's getting thinner all the time. Yeah. But typically 6 to 8 feet you can
Y'all
surface.
can bust through 6-8 foot of solid
We've got a lot
ice?
of,
What with? You got something to ram that hole in, or
just the top of the sail is ice hardened, and so it'll bust it up. It'll come through.
Is that a hell
But
of
it's
a
a
racket?
controlled evolution. It's not like you just get under and you just ram into it. I mean, there's a whole procedure for how you surface through the ice.
Did you get out?
I got to be a diving officer for the surfacing one time, and it's kind of interesting because you have to map the surfaceable feature, and then you have to circle back to it. It's a Williamson maneuver, and you come back and you find it. Then you have to stop the ship under this surfaceable feature, and then you're hovering. So you better be trimmed just right. You know what I mean? Because if you're heavy, you'll sink out. If you're too light. But anyway, and then you get your hovering system and you just bring it up a slow ascent rate. And then when you contact the ice, you blow and go.
Hey, did y'all get out of the submarine when you was up there and walked around?
Oh, yeah. And we had, there were some guys that had some stuff to do. I think we put some scientific instruments, planted some instruments around up there for some science experiment that was going on, and said, okay, we did that. But we always had to take, a guy had to go armed because there are polar bears up there.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to tell you what, they're top of the food chain.
They are. There's nothing like them. They are number one.
They will eat you if they can catch you.
Yeah.
And it was so funny. I was up there. One of the parties was the old chief of the boat, and he was up there, but he had all the fat guys in his group. He goes, I don't have to be fast. Yeah. I just got to be faster than everybody else.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was funny.
It is funny. What about no sunlight on y'all for 72 days? I mean, is that not dangerous?
I had a tremendous vitamin D deficiency that manifested itself with a brittle bone fracture later, in life. And some people need sunshine. I'm one of those people.
Well, everybody does. It helps you digest your food. You've got to have it. Vitamin C too.
Well, 72 days underwater, and you think about it, do you get sick? I know the deficiency, the vitamin D.
Not scurvy or anything like the old days, the old sailing days. No, we take vitamin C. There are multivitamins that we take, to try to keep your minerals.
But how do you know day from night?
Day is when you're awake, and night's when you're asleep. That's what it comes down to. And there's rotating sections.
You just lose track of time. You lose track of day and night.
You just don't try not to think about it too much.
What do you think about?
What do you mean?
I mean, hell, I want to think about it.
I want to tell you what, it's pretty, we work pretty hard. It's a lot of hard work.
So you're not just riding around laughing? Oh, okay.
There's training going on. You have classroom training. You have to sit down. There's book learning. You have to, for guys that aren't qualified, they have to do school of the boat. There's always training going on. It's not like you're bored or anything. And then if you're a mechanic like we were, or if you have operational gear, there's maintenance that has to be done. And you have to shut down some of the equipment, do maintenance on it. So there are periods. There is never a dull moment. You really just, maybe, when you have movie night, when your section gets, time to watch a movie, and that's from 8 till 10, typically on any night, 8 to 10. And if your section lines up where, it's right before your bedtime to go to sleep, then you get to watch a movie,
Really? Now big question. Have you ever been in a war?
Well, I've been to the Arabian Gulf.
Yeah.
And
during wartime. You ever been in a battle? Have you ever used a submarine in a hostile way? You ever been on one?
I cannot talk about that.
I knew you would cross that road.
I knew. I've done good so far, haven't I?
I get the answer.
Submarine operations are classified, and we're not going to talk about them.
I got you. I got you.
I wasn't going there.
Oh yeah.
But
there's a reason that you're there.
That's right.
Yeah, and I hear rumors that during Iraq War that submarines shot some of them stuff when they was doing Iraq over there.
Mm-hmm.
I
heard that too.
Yeah, that's true.
Anything.
Yeah, we heard it. But
I'm on your side.
When did you retire?
I retired in 2014, so almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
No, 10 years ago last August.
Really? So Iraq War was going on while you was in there.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That kind of answers my question. So when you're out there in the ocean, you're going across the ocean, and y'all sometimes out of the blue, you'll just surface the submarine, open the hatch, everybody gets out on top, and you go swimming. You ever do that?
We've done swim calls, and that's pretty good if you've been doing like a workup for an inspection, or you're out in local op areas, or even if you're deployed out in the middle of the ocean, you've been doing them, what have you and whatnot, what have you for a long time. It's pretty cool to get out there and get some sunshine and to go for a little swim and just kind of hang out for an afternoon.
Because you're in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, right?
Or Pacific.
How deep is the water?
How high is the water, Captain?
Yeah.
Well, you can Google, the
1,000 foot deep, 2,000, 3,000 foot deep, and you're swimming in it.
Yeah, you're swimming it. I mean, 100 feet, 100, you can drown in 2 feet
Bath
of
water.
Right.
Yeah, but damn,
What you worry about is you put a guy up in the sail, because what you worry about is like, well, maybe, even though in the middle of the ocean, there's no, like sharks. You worry about sharks.
Yeah.
You think, well, okay, might be a shark out here, but you got to think sharks live in their kitchen.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, there's going to be stuff around to eat. Out in the middle of the ocean, there's not a lot of population.
There ain't nothing out there,
fish.
is it?
There's nothing
What
out
do
there
you
for
see
them.
when you? What's the furthest you've been from land, Cash? Am I boring you, brother?
Not at all.
Okay.
I've crossed every ocean that we got. I mean, the Atlantic, the Pacific. I've crossed them all multiple times.
What?
And
you probably come up in the middle of the ocean. What does it look like right in the middle of the ocean? Is there any? There's nothing there.
Just water, 360 degrees of water.
Is it nothing different in the middle of the lake out here then?
Well, except at the horizon, you can probably see things. In
Right.
the ocean, you don't see anything but just the end of the earth. Right?
Bad weather, does it affect y'all? Yeah.
It's like
Hurricanes?
during an Atlantic crossing, it's not if you're going to hit bad weather, it's when. You're going to hit some bad weather.
Are y'all mostly underwater? Or
You're
y'all
underwater, but you feel it. I mean, you do feel it like a big storm.
Currents, water currents, yeah.
The rocking or
rock
rolling.
you out of out of your bunk?
Well, I mean, you'll feel it at depth. If you come up to periscope depth, it can get pretty hairy.
Really?
Oh, it can toss you around pretty good, like a hurricane. Are you kidding? I mean, there's, 80-foot seas up there.
Yeah.
I mean,
Bounce you out like a bobber on a fish, like a fishing float.
Yeah. So
That
it can
is-
get rough. Yeah.
Really? I would have thought y'all would have got down below under. I guess that water.
Well, you
covered-
tried to, but if we're required to check in with the mothership, so
So you got to go up.
You got to go
Periscope depth.
and you may not stay there, but just a little bit. But you've got to check in.
How often y'all have to check in?
Well, every now and then.
I'm not done too bad. You said I couldn't ask some
Yeah,
question.
that's okay.
If I
You're
done
doing
okay,
good. You're doing great,
All
Mike.
right.
You're doing great.
But think about that, Rick. I mean, God, man, you're out there and there's a hurricane going on, and he gets on the phone. We got a service to check in with the mothership.
Well, they could move
the
you out.
hell?
They could move you out on a longer broadcast.
I would
to-
hope.
to capture.
How do
They
you-
know that it's going to be a difficult time for you.
Right.
But storms, typically you can move out of them fairly quickly. I mean, it's not like you're set in one place and you're just going to stay under a storm. You can move to the edge of the storm pretty quickly. I mean, you're half a day away from being out of it.
Yeah,
Right.
Have you ever run across other submarines from other countries while y'all are out there?
See, there you go again.
No.
No,
Never happens.
No.
Okay. Did I say something wrong? I mean, I was figuring that y'all was probably, we got some adversaries out there. Y'all flying around.
I was a sailor during the Cold War.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I was assigned to a submarine during the Cold War, and that's all I really need to say about that.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
So if you could talk, you could tell some stories about that kind of stuff, but I'm not going to get you into trouble. And I know you're a patriot. You're a Cash, and I appreciate that. You're a big patriot. He did warn me, folks. There's certain things I can't answer, and I've tried not to go over the edge because he's under this deal to where he's being a force master chief is pretty high ranking, and he knows some stuff, but he can't tell me, and I've tried to respect that.
Yeah, and you've done a great job.
But
I appreciate it.
Yeah, and I
Thank
have went over a little bit, but I didn't know what we could and couldn't do. But Ricky, the part of knowing, maybe this is not going to be one of them questions. You're knowing you're out there. Come here, pup. You're out there, and you've got your adversaries. They're out there. It's a cat and a mouse game, and you may have somebody on the other side that just does something stupid and makes you wonder, are we going to get out of this? That's what I'd be thinking. Is this guy from the other country that's kind of our adversary, is that guy lost his mind? He's been underwater too long? Well, they don't have the prep and equipment we have. I don't care if anybody knows it. America has the best of everything. We spend the money for it anyway. Mm-hmm. Do you ever worried about that? Is that other guy going to be okay, or is he going to do something stupid?
Well, naturally, you want to be prepared for anything, any contingency, at all times. That's just, be ready.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the whole thing with the submarine force. And I think John Richardson, who was a commander of the Atlantic Submarine Force and later became Chief of Naval Operations. You know, the reason we had World War II is because we weren't ready for it.
Yeah.
I mean,
We're
that's
asleep.
yeah, we were asleep at the wheel. I mean,
You're right.
we were cashing the checks on the back of our defense.
Yeah.
Basically living the high life, the roaring 20s, 30s, you know, well, we came through a depression, gotcha, all that, but everybody was ready to whoop it up. But a few smart-minded people saw that, hey, there are threats in the world and we need to but we were behind. We were in a hole.
Oh, we didn't have nothing.
Yeah, we didn't have
No.
we had some submarines, but they weren't modern. We had some ships. We had a couple of aircraft carriers, but they weren't modern. The old
Germany
battleship-
had the badass, what they call them things? The Germans had
The
them
U-boats?
Yes, they was havoc on us trying to send reinforcements
Supplies, yeah.
over to England.
England, yeah.
They sunk.
And Russia.
And Russia. You're
Yeah,
right.
we
They-
were allies with
That's
those
right,
people
right.
during World War II. We saved their
They
bacon.
sunk millions. I don't know if it's millions, thousands of gigantic ships in the ocean from
until we did one thing.
What's that?
Radar.
That's right.
It was radar that got them, and the Japanese too.
Germany didn't much believe in radar. They would fly over when they was bombing. They would fly over the radar. They didn't think there was nothing to it. You know?
Yeah,
They didn't.
and you would think as technologically advanced as they were
Oh,
in
yeah.
every other respect, that and eventually they came to get some early warning
Yeah.
capability, but it was too late at that point. The war was already
They was
lost.
more worried about the UFOs and stuff. See, that's what they was chasing. You knew that they chased all that stuff.
Yeah.
They really did. Makes you wonder. After World War II, our technology in America really jumped in leaps and bounds.
Well,
you look
we had
at
to.
look how
Look
it
at
jumped.
rocket
That's
technology.
exactly. It come from Germany. All that, they're very smart people. You know, we're getting close, but I'm going to show you something. Everybody that comes on my show, they are, Mike, am I part of the Bruce Street Mafia? Well, I'm fixing to make you an official member. And I want you to take this.
my gosh.
You are an official member now, Force Chief of the Bruce Street Mafia.
Put it there and shake my hand.
There you
Mike.
go. Now look at that.
Man, that is awesome.
Read what that says on there now. It tells you all about it.
It says this, and $2 will get you a cup of coffee in some places.
He won't get you an oil change.
No, what I tell everybody is that thing right there in 5 pennies gives you a nickel. But we also got something else we want to present you here, Chief, because you spent your life,
Thank you.
the best part of your life, the prime of your life, you was defending us. You know, I slept at nights. You're not the same age. I didn't get over and do what you did. I got to sleep at nights, and my children live in a free country. Everybody in this country owes you and the veterans more than we can ever pay y'all. First off, Ricky, we owe y'all a lot because I slept at nights while you slept on a submarine, 1,000 foot below, and done without. Your family suffered because you was gone. You didn't know what was going on, and I want to give you something from Pepsi Mid-America and from me here.
Oh,
We
look
want
at
to
that. It's
present
got
you
the
with this.
Navy seal on
We
it,
want to
too.
present you with that, and
Thank you
thank
very
you.
much.
I want to give you thank you for your service.
Ricky, thank you very much.
And
Thank you.
it's
That is-
probably not the biggest medal you ever got, but I'm going to tell y'all something.
That is very
That
nice.
medal
Look at
that we're giving you, it's got both sides of that medal we're giving you. It means a lot
I'll tell you
to
what,
the American people out there.
I got a place for that.
Well, I hope you do. We want to thank you for all you did because I get to be free man because of people like you.
And you know,
and I appreciate it. I really do. Thanks a lot.
And I want to present you with that.
Oh, man! Oh man! You gonna make me cry,
I say to
man.
the military families and the listening audience,
Thank you for your service. I wish I had one for this Mr. Dunn that was talking to you earlier. He deserves just what he give
he
up
sure
just like
does.
you did.
Yep.
You all do. Look what I got here. I want you to explain to me what I've got in my hand. Put that in there. Explain that to me, Cash, what this is.
That's my personal coin from my time as.
Put it back on me. Put it right here on this coin he's got in my hand. Let him find it. Okay, hold it still, he said. All right, here he comes. They'll get it. When he gets up there, you can describe it. There we go.
Oh, look at that! Yeah, that's my coin from my time as the Force Master Chief in SubPac.
I have got one. It's right here. You know, he said he gives them out, I'm sure, but I feel privileged to have that. That means a lot to me to be able to have that. It really does, because
If I see it on eBay, it's going to be a problem.
it won't be on damn eBay.
Because there is one.
Evo.
There is one on eBay.
Look at my eyes. I guarantee you this won't be on eBay. I've got special places that I put stuff. You can see lock
Look at
and
that.
key.
That is so cute.
I've got a lot of neat stuff over. I got a microphone Elvis Presley sang in. I got a boxing glove signed by Ernie Schaefer.
Oh boy.
I've got a world champion Henry County championship helmet signed by the players. And it's just stuff like this. It means a lot to me. I put in a lock and key, but that means a lot for you to share this with me. But you is who we come here to thank for what you've did. You sacrificed your life. I don't know let me explain. Ricky, help me. What you did for 30-something years in a casket under the water, just so I can sit up here and do what I'm doing, and everybody else can do what we're doing. I want to thank you from the sincerity
I
of my
appreciate
heart.
that, Mike, and you're very welcome. Let me just say that it was a labor of love. There were some dark days and there were some hard days, but it was ultimately something that I am privileged to have done. I'm honored to have done it. I'm proud to be a patriot and to be a veteran. But I did a job that I was fortunate to love and to actually get to experience it for 30 years.
Man, I'm gonna tell you,
was great. So thank you.
My grandson, his son was a veteran. My grandson, I got his picture up here somewhere. Look at this guy, Barry Hart. He's been on my show.
Yes.
He's a veteran. He's. I got my grandson right over here somewhere. I don't know where they're hanging on the wall somewhere. But we all owe. The older I get, the more, Ricky, you can help me out here, brother, the more I realize my father was a World War II veteran. He was in Patton's 1st Armored Division. He went through a lot over there. He did go through that. That was a tough war. And I think we have almost lost all the World War II veterans. I think we're just about
We're
gone.
just very few.
Very few.
If any.
And what they sacrificed,
You're
my
right.
father sacrificed, and then here comes you picking up. And where my father left off, he done his time. My grandson, when I had these guys on my show during Veterans Day, my grandson called in from Marine Corps, and he said, "Y'all guys sleep well." I'm going to cry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of traditions,
And
that were.
He said some things that I think the listening audience ought to think, especially the youth today. He went in. I said, "Why?" He said, "Because he wanted to." Then he talked the most important things in life. He had goals. And you having a goal to do what you did and to stay and to serve our country. I say in this world today, there's two most important people in the world, and you can line them up together side by side. Without a farmer, we're going to starve to death. And if we didn't have veterans, we'd be naked and afraid.
That's exactly right.
And, because we would live scared, we live in a foxhole, running from it. And I said it, I think, when they were on the show, we don't need a war on this soil.
No, we don't.
No,
We don't.
no. And for you to stay sacrificed, to stay away from home, that's a sacrifice and a goal to keep us free. And American people miss this.
Well, thank you for saying that, Ricky. It's awful kind of you to say that. I will say that those are the young people that are currently serving our country right now are the best among us.
So you're right.
Okay.
You're exactly right.
And there's no question about it. These are not second-class citizens.
No, sir.
These are the best
That's right.
that
You're right.
America can make. And I'm proud to have been a part of those organizations.
My grandson called in and out. I did that veteran show. I had a Rod Fry, and I had Barry Hart on. My grandson called me, surprised me, called in from the Marine Corps, and he said, "Y'all talk to these older gentlemen. They was older guys." He said, "Y'all go home and rest. I've got it now."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any minute.
And that's the thing. So thank you for your service.
Yes, sir.
That's-
Man, I've had a good time. It's been
Mike,
enjoyable.
thank you very much.
Man, I mean,
Thank you.
I appreciate all you've done.
Thank you
Don't
very
go
much.
nowhere. But, folks, there you have him. I'm going to call him Force Master Chief, Mr. Cash Caldwell. What he went through on that submarine, we just touched the surface on it. It's got to be horrible to live at. He says it's not. I couldn't do it. Go ahead.
Can I make a plug? If you want
talk about
to continue this conversation,
Yeah.
find Cash's wood-fired pizza.
There you go. And also,
We'll be cooking in a neighborhood near you.
That's right. What else we got?
And the Ruby Pear right across the street here on Brewer Street.
Right
My
across.
wife Jill serving up one of the better lunches that you'll get here in
It
Paris.
is. My guys go over today.
Yeah.
My guys over today eat. Hey, that's right. Go over. Cash's wood-fired pizza. I forgot about that. Find him. Sit down and talk to him. Sit down and talk to him and let him tell you some stories that we didn't get to tonight. And then go to his wife's place right across the street from the studio.
The Ruby Pear.
That's right.
Ruby Pear.
We all remember Gigi's. He kept that going. Gigi was good friends with your wife.
Right.
And they just said, we can't let this stop. So go over there, support them. We did. We supported them today. And go over there and Cash, I called him the other day. And we talked a little while, didn't I?
Yeah.
And thank him for his service because this man did a lot. 30 years under the water. Doing what he did. Can't talk about a lot of it, but we just made a good conversation out of it. I just wanted to do it because y'all know me. I like stuff like that, and I want to thank him, and I want to thank Ricky for what he did with this little medal. That's good, man.
Awesome.
Means a
We're
lot.
all in, as you say.
Yeah.
You said better than anybody. We're all in this whole world together. That's
right. We
That
are.
is a Mike Weatherford
It
statement.
is. We all in this world together.
That's what Mike tell you.
Yeah, I'll tell you in a minute. We all need help.
We all need
And we
it.
all can give help.
We all, and that's what we're here for.
And I appreciate you, brother. Wasn't
Thank
that
you,
bad, was it? Yeah. And the dog. We got to thank the dog. Give him
Oh,
the daddy back.
hey, look,
Get him
hey.
back up
Yes,
here.
no.
There he is. Look at him. Look at that dog.
Daddy.
He said,
Hey.
Daddy, let's go home. That has been the best dog. You know,
Oh, yeah.
he's better than me and you, Ricky.
And let me tell you right
He
now.
knows how to act.
And the
He does.
listening audience are not smiling over this dog.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Hey,
right there.
doesn't he look better than Mike?
He does. Hey, Dad, don't take my job, dog.
He's doing it right there.
He's the guy.
Oh, he's ready to go. All right, folks, there you go. All right. Anyway, it's been a good show. We've been talking to Cash. He is a 30-year veteran. He is a Force Master Chief, United States Navy, a submariner. Talking a bit about what he went through and stuff. And there's a lot of stuff we couldn't talk about, and you understand it. But we touched the surface on it. There might be a part 2 to this. There's a lot of questions we have to find out. We will be. But don't forget, next week, March the 25th. That's next Tuesday, same place, same time. I got Brian Blake, earthquake expert, going to come on. We're going to find out, are we ready for the big one? Are we past time for the big one? What's going on? What is fracking they're doing? I know that's out west, but there's a little bit going on around here too. Is these pivot wells or these farmers are pulling the water out of the ground? Is that causing? So I read a lot, guys, and I've been hearing this stuff complain. Chemtrails in the sky, I hear all that kind of stuff because people sends me stuff all the time. And I'm going to get this guy in here. He is executive director of Central U.S. Earthquake. CUSEC. That's what I'm going to call it because I cannot consortium. Consortium, is that what? Come on, help me, Crash. Consortium. He is he's a director of it. That's something big. That's kind of like a Force Master Chief, I guess. I'm just a damn old mechanic. We don't know these fancy words. Well, we're peons. There you go.
I get it.
We're going to get into the scientifics behind earthquake, exploring the effects of them, what happens. It turns natural dirt into quicksand. I mean, earthquakes are a phenomenon. It's natural, but the hidden is crazy. Just tune in next week. We're going to find out all the stuff about earthquakes coming up next week. And don't forget, Good Day Paris. That's right, coming up to Thursday, 6:30 p.m. right here on Facebook. Find them, like them, share them, tune in. They always got something good going on over at Good Day Paris. And we got the other show is the Tennessee Informer with Dave Vance. He's going to have a special guest, John Harris. How state leadership claims to support the Second Amendment while blocking full compliance. Okay, there you go. Tune in. That's coming up Monday. Don't forget, my friend Junior Staggs has got Junior Staggs and Friends coming back. That's right. It's going to be at the Parlor in Puryear Friday, April 18th. Stay tuned. We're going to get you a place you can buy your tickets. Caleb Wilson's going to be there. Come and see him before he gets famous. Junior Staggs is going to sing himself. Junior Staggs is a man of many talents, I'm telling you. Part of Kill Media, Brewer Street Mafia, Mike Weatherford Show, Bid Last to Win, Red Ball Auction, all these sponsors across the bottom are going to be there talking with you, and it's going to be a big time. It's coming up Friday, April 18th, 7 p.m. at the Parlor in Puryear. I want to thank our winner tonight, Miss Sherry Dunn, and I want to thank her husband for his time in a submarine. That's pretty cool. They're friends of ours. We just met tonight when she won this right here. Nice Pepsi Mid-American. Cooley, it's a Fallon deep, as they say, from my friend Ricky Price from Pepsi Mid-America. Ricky, appreciate you like always, brother.
Brother, it's always
fun. We always do something.
We're going to find some fun. We're going to make it happen.
That's exactly right. Cash, one more time, thank you for coming in. Thank you for your service. Hope you enjoyed it.
I did, Mike. It was
All
great
right,
fun.
folks.
Thank
All right,
you.
guys, tune in next week. Same time, same play. I'm going to throw you a square ball here. But I want to thank my people in the back before I go. See, y'all thought I was fixing to go, didn't you? I heard him in the back here. I want to thank Kevin Kill, the producer, Scott Norwood, Billy Busey, and Dana Allen for all they do in the back. What they do in the back is the hard work. Y'all see what they do. They do all the hard work, and I get up there and get to do the easy part. So I want to thank the guys in the back and the girls for helping me out do this show. And when you see my sponsors, tell them how much you appreciate them sponsoring the show, because without them, we couldn't do what we do. And thank you, the viewer. If you haven't followed me yet, do me a favor. Go to Facebook, go to YouTube, go to Spotify. We're on all the platforms. I don't know what all. Hell, I have to put all the names are up there somewhere. You find all them places. If you haven't yet, look up a little board that says follow. Go like this. Go click. If it says subscribe, click. And tell your family and friends, let's grow this show up. Let's make it grow. Let's grow it, so I can bring you interesting stuff like this. All right, I'm going to let you go. Talk to you next week, same time, same place. And like I always say, y'all can help me this time. Don't be late.
The Mike Weather Show is recorded live in the Brewer Street Mafia Studios, downtown Paris. A Kill Media, Brewer Street Mafia production.